Hello. Isn't this so relaxing? So this is actually the view I have when I look there. So I thought I'd share that with you. Clicking a button is hard, so I could do this all night long. Ignore this shadow, that's a reflection of the light in the window here. But apart from that, this is working nicely. I need to shave. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Um, Funny thing, I think I just locked myself in. So the door to the hallway, I store my broom behind it. So when I stream, I close that door to not get the noise from the neighbors. And I heard the broom fall into the door handle and behind the shelf. So probably I'll fix that later. So, where were we? Oh, wrong screen. Okay, so back to program. Want to just these clouds are so beautiful. Maybe you should just leave it back there and code in front of it and no. But maybe okay. Let's switch to this screen and oh look, remember last time we did this Atem and Rust number 4 and it's still running. So if I turn on the overlay, oh wait, maybe we do this again. So last time if I press the right button. So let's get out of the way. So remember we coded this overlay. This is running locally. Let's turn this off. So this is the local copy we're running and the time is still in sync and everything's working. And this is actually the version running on the Raspberry. And we can still overlay this. Oh, my bad. I played with the overlay with the flying key. So this is the overlay we did last time. And I'm gonna turn off the overlay from OBS, which is this one in a minute. But uh, oh, super long day at work. Shall we turn on the light? No, that's too much. Let's just try it like this. Blah 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 blah. First 10 minutes, as always, warm up. So Rust overlay still running. I have a few ideas about this. So yes, it's this down here says auto reloading and command line handling today. I want to do something else first. So let's get out of the way. And step one, let's stop this. Let's stop this. We added the config file. And actually, what do you want to do? Okay, we say 5, episode 5. We want to do auto reloading, and editing this file and having to redeploy is one of the reasons I don't want to do this. Well, I want dynamic reloading and then command line handling. So let's fix this, save this, and actually we copy over the config file. No, and it didn't change. Yeah, maybe I have to stop it. And you see the clock stopped ticking here, and I just restarted and oh, I didn't change the shadow. That's what you get when basically I have the twice here. One for without the shadow and one for with the shadow. And obviously that is not what I want. So let's just recopy this and stop this. And now it's looking better. Now it's looking better. Now I go into OBS and turn off the overlay. No more OBS for overlays. Yeah, me here still is kind of. And so I was playing around with the Atem. Can I make this smaller? Will this work? Yeah. So I was playing around with the Atem software, and what we used so far, we used the upstream key with a chroma key, but I don't want to use the upstream key because the upstream key has a chroma key, so that's perfect for stuff like webcams and stuff. So I want to use a downstream key. So let me turn off this overlay. So I just turned off the upstream key, and let me turn on the and camera 1 is basically the Raspberry Pi output. So if I turn this on now, well, it's gonna go all green on us because if you look closely, and I just pressed this button again, so this is the downstream key is using a Luma key. So basically black is transparent, which is much nicer than green because green, we cannot have green in our image. So step 1, you're gonna make this green background block a black background block. So just black, and actually I want alpha. We do alpha blending, so I want this. So let's do a cargo run release here. So we have the same thing in black now. And the nice thing, I don't know why the escape key takes 2 times to. So I copy this over, restart this here, and if I go to the Raspberry now, we have this black background and not green anymore. We're not doing green screen chroma keying anymore. We're doing Luma keying. Oh, so if I go into Atem now and use the downstream key here, so this is the upstream key, but I want to use the downstream key, and you see, look, we have nearly perfect transparency. We have the nice fade effect. Yes, anything that is black will be almost transparent. So maybe we want to avoid the dark grays and blacks, but this has 2 advantages. A, we can actually render green blocks. So if I say I want let's say I want a green block in the upper left corner, and we couldn't do that last time. Remember, the green block was just transparent. So RGB, so we have a pure green block, and we put it in the upper left corner here. So if I run this locally, we have this green block in the upper left corner now, which would have just ended up transparent. So I copy this to the Raspberry, stop here and restart. And yes, we have the green block in the upper left corner. So we have to be careful with contrast. So we want bright stuff is non-transparent. So we want kind of bright stuff, and you see some problems down here because white text on black background is not working anymore. But we are much more flexible than with a green screen. Obviously, just having an alpha channel would be nice, so we could use 2 HDMI inputs, one for the color information, one for the alpha information, because frickin' HDMI does not have. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I need to put on my chat information. There is no UI framework. There is no UI framework. So I have here on my Mac, So this window is mini FB, and this here on the Raspberry is basically the frame buffer device. So I have one wrapper for frame buffer device that basically copies our RGB A buffer to the 16-bit frame buffer the Raspberry Pi uses, and mini FB just opens the window that is half the size, so no UI framework whatsoever. You can check the last 4 streams. This is stream number 5. We developed this from scratch. So just draw basics, because I wanted to get rid of OBS for the whole streaming thing, just for overlays. So basically my Raspberry is rendering the overlays. And yes, I could have gone with a web browser, but I wanted to see how low I can go. And as usual, all this stuff, okay, is, yeah, maybe if you could type all this stuff, I have too many things here in. So this is called Cheval. All of this is open source, and the goal is make this a generic tool for simple overlays. And I also want to do a smart mirror. So I built a smart mirror and downloaded this magic mirror tool, and spent a day configuring some broken Python modules that then failed on the next update and kept crashing, and the load on the Raspberry was constantly 100%. And I thought, well, rendering some timing information in pixels is you need an external keyer. So I'm using the Atem Mini Pro, which is a super cool tool, because you can just press the buttons and it does all this magic. And why is there no? I think my camera just my GoPro just fell asleep. But well, yeah. So I hope to work more on this, make it more usable. I want to extract the elements so it's modular, so you can just add in a new library and new module and just download it. And I also wanted the configuration file to be readable. So I think this is quite readable. What I was gonna do is, so this is a banner background here. So this is a banner background block. Let's make this a bit lighter. Just to get away from the white, I make it a bit more grayish. Copy over the config file to the Raspberry. Yes, we have to restart, but we want to fix this now. And it was probably hard to see, but this is less transparent now. You can see it down here. Still not perfect. I mean, I shouldn't have white windows behind it, which will just make it fail, but I kind of like the feel of it. Can you see? It's making me happy. And the other nice side effect, by using the downstream key for the overlay, that frees up the upstream key. And if I go to, let me real quickly, so this is camera 3. This is my GoPro, which I just pointed out of the window to have some. And if I now chroma key here, I can, let's say I take the dark, so I take the dark corner down here, and I chroma key on this, on the black, and then I enable this. So yeah, I could use myself, I could switch cameras around, but actually let's disable that. Maybe we can use the sky. So something up here. So you see, I can, I have the lower third at the, I have the lower third at the bottom here, and the clock that is totally unneeded. It's just an example, but I have the lower third in the downstream key here. So this is the downstream key here. This is the downstream key. Can you see this? Yeah, and this is the upstream key here where I can overlay a camera. So use one downstream key with Raspberry generated overlays, use one upstream key for the camera, and I still have two inputs left. Did my... Oh, for crying out loud, yeah. I just realized I did an OBS update, and you know what happens when you update OBS? It defaults the stream rate to 6 megabits. I'm not getting any dropped frames today, but give me 15 seconds to fix the bitrate on this stream. I have to stop the stream, right? I don't want to do that. Can I please just... What happens if I do... Can I do this live? Oh, is that new in OBS? I just reduced the bitrate. Seems to be still running. Is this better? Okay, I took a 3-month streaming break and it shows, so... But okay, so... The basic gist is, remember when I was streaming from the boat, I had to lug around so much gear and just Windows. Every time I plug in the webcam, I need to reconfigure the webcam. If I plug in the headphones, I have to reconfigure the whole audio routing. I want to get rid of the second laptop for the streaming. So just plug into everything into my Atem Pro and stream from there from next time. But yeah. But we're here to do some Rust development, right? And you know who sucks at Rust development? Mouse connected to 2 laptops. I am so all over the place. Good to know. Yeah, I always forget to change that setting. And when I stream from the boat, I probably go back down to 1 megabit, but there's no way to get to my boat right now, so none of that is gonna happen. So I wanted to look into auto reloading. So the idea is, I mean, for the clock we use this hard-coded clock string. So basically what I thought is, what if, for example, this banner title, I had something, let's say, I mean, technically the name is more for debugging, but banner title loader. And then the type is load text. Not sure if I want load text. Load text sounds good. And then I have parameters. And then the file is banner title.txt. And the variable is... Oh, I'm not sure if I use this format or just for consistency or just the insides of that. Probably something like this, and then here, let's copy this. Let's copy this. So here I say, and here then I say just banner title. Yeah. And actually, just so we see it's actually working, because of banner type, this will not work. I mean, this load type doesn't exist yet. still skipping. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. So this will not load, and so this banner title variable will be empty. So let's put this a few lines up just for testing. So this is what I want to work when the auto reloading is working. So let's run this locally. Oh, I think I broke the config. What did I break? Type parameters. Let's real quick remove this. I think I did something. What did I do? Okay, so it was this change. What did I do? Do you see it? So something broke in the config file. That means it couldn't load the config at all. So to do make config loading more robust. I mean, this is still very much work in progress, so I'm gonna ignore that. So let's see, is it this part here? Is it this part? Nope. Is it? Oh, yeah, this is not good. So you see, maybe the bluish color was a bad choice here. So this is the stuff we want to load from the banner file. So if I have a banner title.txt banner title text. So basically I would expect banner title text here now, which isn't there. So I need an element that loads this and loads the file and puts it into the string. So long day, lots of talking. So what we need is basically this element, and we know how to do an element. I mean, we're gonna cheat. We're gonna copy the block element and call it load text element. I'm probably want it like this. Naming schemes to be defined. And git edit. So if we go into the load tag, let's go into the lib. So first we have to hook it up here. Let's stay alphabetical. First we hook it up here. Then we go here and say, okay, I can never remember the replace keyword. So we have block element and want to replace that with, is it load text or load text element? Replace all. So we've replaced all of them, and obviously we want to have a load text here, and that's still compiling. Maybe my lower third is eating up too much space, but so be it. And then in the main, remember we have to is it? No, not in the main, in the here. So use create load text element, load text element. Just bring it into scope, and then here, let's just copy this here. Not sure about the naming, so if I run this now, load text element factory. Load text element factory. Didn't we bring this into scope? No, we didn't. Okay, better. And nothing changed, but if you look into the dump here, we have the load text in here, and yes, this debug needs to be a bit more readable, but the basic load text is loaded, and I mean, technically in load text we don't render anything. So this is the interesting part now. This is not rendering, and remember we have the context, and the context has a set string. So if we go into load text, and just for the, we can in context, we can just say context set string. And actually, what was the string we were using? This string was banner title. So let's put from code here. It has a name. Let's remove all of these. Let's remove all of these. Let's rename all of the, remove all of these. So all it does now, sorry, trying to do some work on the side. So, oh, this didn't work as expected. Why not? Because so clock string works, but oh, so here's the thing, we don't support this yet. We only support full replacement. So this says from code now. So that's a good point. We need to do partial string replacement, but that's a whole different story. But this is coming from code now. Obviously, we don't want it to come from code, and the variable name is hard-coded. So what we need is we need a file name. It's a string, and we need a variable. It's also a string. It's technically the variable name, but so we set file name, and I shouldn't have killed all that good stuff that we could have stolen. So basically we say config equals get string, or so load text self.filename equals config.get string, or, and the string I want is file name, and the default is nothing. And then I do the same for the variable. So basically these two here, and it's file, not file name. Maybe I want to make this file name. That sounds better. And this is not context, this is config. So here we say the variable is self.variable. self dot variable y. Oh, and let's just set the file name here for testing, and we say if self dot file name not equals nothing, and self dot variable. So only if we have the setup complete, we update this, and right now we update every frame. We probably don't want to do that, but oh, my bad. So let's just missing initializers. Just missing initializers. So we have banner title.txt here, which is also not what we want, correct? But we know how to load text from a file, right? So I need to turn off this notifications. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. Just managing work. Is the stream still on? This is looking good. Astoundingly stable today, so we know how to load yeah, not this one. We are loading. This is a file reader, so Windows keyboard. I'm not sure I want to do it this way, but let's try. So we open the file. We open the file and we cannot do this, so we do this. And now we should return. I mean, we talked about this anyway, about return types. So I'm wondering if now, because we had add clean error handling here, maybe now is the time, but then I'm too lazy, so I'm just gonna do if let, is it okay or some? If it was okay, and probably else we do nothing. Else we just do nothing. So if we could open the file, we set it to the file name. So if we could open the file, we set it to the file name, and if we can't open the file because the file does not exist, then we don't set it. And then it's gonna be the variable name because it has not been set. Maybe we want to wipe it, but this is more like configuration error handling, so I'm gonna ignore that for today. Oh, my throat is so dry. So we could open the file, And if I could only remember. And what we could do as well, we could just say read standard, read file system. What we could do is we could say read to string. Yeah, autocomplete is your friend, and obviously this is a string now. And let's put it to do and say format string. And here we say we set the variable to the contents to the string we just loaded. So right now every frame, there's this question mark, which is probably, if you do a hex dump -c for the banner title, so there is this new line at the end, which we currently output, which we might want to strip, right? But I wanted to test one thing else. So this is, can you see this down there? Oh, nice. So if I go to banner title now and say I change it, it changes dynamically. Which is kind of cool. Just kind of, I mean, let's build the ARM version. Let's kill this here for a second, and then we SCP the ARM version over, and we SCP the config file over, and then we also SCP the banner title over. So if I run this on the Raspberry now, I have the banner title here, and I could just edit this here and then SCP that again, and it will auto update. But we are loading this file every single frame. And do I really want to load this file every single frame? I mean, for one file, I don't care. But if we had multiple files, I would probably care very much. So working but not really usable. Let's actually push this down a bit. And the config is not reloaded, so let's push this down even further. It says, yeah, I just want it visible but out of the way, so that's fine with me. So so what we actually want to do is, I mean, okay, simple version could be we don't check this every frame, we only check this every X frames. And I actually want to poll for an update somehow-ish. So what I want to do is, this is the actual value we want to write into this. So on every update, we say if self.variable is defined, It's just from up here, this one here. Then we say, okay, we pull this down because we want to set it every frame. Even if it doesn't change every frame, we want to set it every frame and set this to self value. And yes, I need to initialize that. And what we do here now is self.value equals s to string. Probably this is not needed because this is a string. But cargo run release. We just split the logic apart so later we can work on that logic a bit. So this is still working. So this part we want to do every frame, and this we only want to do, and technically this we only want to do if the file changes. So if the file changes, I'm pretty sure file change watcher, file watcher, create last updated 1 year ago. Can I? And no documentation whatsoever. So not a fan of this one. I don't want to run it. Notify 1.6 million downloads, updated 2 months ago, cross-platform file system notification library. That sounds good. So installation, notify usage. Okay, watch, create a channel. And then we just create a receiver. That actually doesn't look too bad. Hot watch. This looks good. This actually looks pretty solid. I mean, this has the advantage we can pull it. Oh, is the receive blocking? Okay, so we wanted to have an async run function anyway, right? So let's look into hot watch. Wait. Is Hotwatch actually a crate? I think we're gonna go pure notify today. Hotwatch looks interesting. So this works on Mac, Windows, and Linux. So fs events, read directory changes, W, I notify, and it polls all other. This looks good. So we add the dependency, and I'm gonna move this a bit over. So we add the dependency. We need to fix the chrono dependency here. And then we go to the load text element. Let's just pull all of this in. We can clean it up later, and now it's gonna be interesting cause what we're gonna do is So the problem is if I go to the documentation of this, so this is the receiver. The question is, does this block? Does this is blocking or not? Well, is this blocking? And it's probably is blocking, so what we need is we create a channel. We create a channel to receive the events, and this place here will be wrong. We're gonna do this differently. So remember, we wanted to change the text. We wanted to change the element interface anyway. We wanted to have a configure, an update, and a render. So update and render is called per frame, and we wanted to have an async function run that just runs forever. I'm not so sure this is a good idea. Because when we run async, oh, remember how I said this project is supposed to teach me some Rust threading stuff? If we do this, the update cannot run while the run is running, right? So can we do either or? Can we do either? Okay, now it's gonna get a bit ugly. Now all of them are gonna say, hey, I'm missing this, and this is what I don't like, because I extend the interface and it's an optional method that could have a default implementation, and what I have to do now is to say, okay, this one here doesn't do anything in this case. Oh, traits cannot be declared async. That is not. Oh, no, 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 no. That is not nice at all. Was it async traits or was it async trait? Oh, we have to declare it everywhere. not sure if I want to go down that road. What's the other option? Eschew it. Let's do it. So I add async trade to cargo. Okay, and then I add, all I have to do is add this to the trade. I need to do this at some point anyway. And now the block element, I think we have to do it on the implementation as well. So if I do cargo check now, it's gonna say, okay, hey, your run is missing on. And it obviously should return a future. But yes, it doesn't return anything. Oh, yes, because we didn't bring it into scope. Let's bring this into scope. So this is missing run, missing run, missing run. And here the problem is, actually, we can pass in a non-mutable run. We can not. Lifetimes do not match method in trait. Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, why? Oh. Remember, we have to get it into scope. And now the block element should be fine. Yeah, the block element is fine. Now we do it for the image element, even if it's not needed, which is a bit sad. We do it here, we do it here, we do it here, and this is just getting this stuff into scope. And now we have to, I mean, that only happens during development when you create this stuff from scratch and don't know the interface. Everybody coming after us will just copy from the base before we after we change the interface, so this should be fine. And unfortunately, all of them also need the empty async run, and I'm not even sure yet about the interface, so this makes it. As I said, I would like to have a default implementation for traits, but that would break too many other. So right now we gained exactly nothing. Well, what we did gain, all of our elements can have this async run function now, which is doing nothing currently. So for that to work, we have to add Tokyo in the mix. So async on its own does nothing. Tokyo is one of the things that wraps it. Come on, why are you not compiling? Basically, you declare main async. So the problem is to call an async function, you have to be async yourself. So this is still working, but what I ideally want. So in Cheval, after I create an element and configure it, probably here. So for E in elements iter mutable, I say e dot run. Right? I set them all up and I want to run them all. And I ignore the, so oh, I can do that. So let's say we're here and we say probably should be a debug, but load text element run. Just want to see it. Where is this? Maybe our test case is too big. So this is a config loader. This is a loaded config. Wait, what? You know, the thing is, we don't want to await. Okay. Let's await this. And then it says basically, you can only await in async functions. So this load here needs to be async to allow for that. And then we can await here, which is synchronized. But then if we do this, yeah, cargo check would have been enough. It stops working. So let's real quick, let's comment this out. So all we did is we make this async. But as soon as we made this async and don't await it, it will just not run. So where we do the load in the main, here we would have to do an await now. And now it's saying, hey, Look, dude, please. I can only await in async functions, right? So, I mean, that's easy, you say. Just make the main async. Just make this async, right? Easy peasy. Main function is not allowed to be asynchronous. And that is where Tokyo comes in, because it allows the main function to be async. So, and I'm gonna cheat here because we did this last week. We always do this last week, right? Just check my GitHub repo. But we don't want this. We don't want this in our cargo toml. We want this. So we want full features and we want tracing. And then we have our main here. And then we can do the whole, yeah, please. Do we need the prelude? I'm not so sure about that now. I think we just need the Tokyo main, and that should be fine. So now this allows the load to be async, and we wait for that, and then internally we do that. So if I do a cargo check now, okay, I cannot use this in a block that returns nothing, so this should return results something box dynamic arrow now. And that's starting to get so ugly. Standard IO error. Wait. Sorry, standard error. And this says, okay, I want a standard box, standard error static. Okay, so here basically I return an okay. So, and this part here is, but if I run this now, if I run this now, if I compile this now, and at some point it will run, looking out the window, oh, I think the camera died. Yeah, no, it's just so dark outside. Okay, it could switch to the Raspberry, but now I broke it. Okay, let's try this again. So this is working again. So all we said is, okay, we want this asynchronous function that is, so we want this asynchronous function that's called run, because the load element will need a run at some point, so we have to ripple that all the way till the top. And I wonder, oh, we commented that out. So here the load element run is running, but what we actually want to do is that the load element run is looping, right? We just want this to run forever. And this can run forever. Sorry about that. So it runs forever, but since we await here, it waits till it is done. And now comes a part of Rust async that I never used. So, right. So basically what we want to do is we want to spawn it, right? So if I go to the documentation, to feature flags, working with tasks. So the spawn function and the join handle. So we want the spawn function, right? So we can say, so basically this is creating a thread and then we just await all of them at the end and we just ignore the cleanup. So what we could do is say Tokyo spawn. And basically I think it's this. Maybe we could have, so if inside of this we say Tokyo.spawn and then we press the right button and then we don't want to await here, right? Why is it async move? Fair. So this is basically just the boilerplate wrapper, and I'm probably doing something wrong here. I never used the whole async stuff, but basically we say, okay, spawn this, and it's Tokyo : for once, and then probably okay, we don't implement send for element. Let's which is true because we have it mutable in both contexts. So future created by async block is not sent. Help the trade stand is not implemented. So standard. So this is deep into new territory now. Types that can be transferred across thread boundaries. So the compiler determined that element is not sent. Rust make trade sent. I say we can just say when we box it, we can make it send, but oh, it's just the din element. It's not the element that's not sent. So when we do the boxing, as box, really, I'm not a fan of this. So what they say we can, okay, obviously this is not bar, this is element. Well, basically we can just say, make it send here, then that should remove. Let's see, so this here should be redundant. I mean, basically we're lying now. Future created by Atem block is not sent. I think I'm reaching the end of my rope for today. Time to hang yourself if you reach the end of the rope. I shouldn't have done that on stream, sorry about that. What is interesting? So future cannot be sent between threads safely. Fair, I know. So let's go to Tokyo. Okay, let's do this and just block. So if I go here and instead I say do nothing. I just want the do nothing, right? That works. That works. How do I make something sent? If a type is composed entirely out of send and sync, it is send and sync. So we could just implement send for our trade, for our... Wait, we can't do that, right? Because this is wrong. This is plain wrong. Can we implement this for this? Okay, it says it's fine. So if we go here, I've never done this before, so how? can add send constraint to trade object like this, but our trade object, and let's just for the moment, let's just do the load text. This would be so easy in C. So what if we make this non-mutable? I know run gets a mute, and now it needs to be synced, not sent. Mate, can you decide on your... Can you decide why... Question. Does run have to be async? It's blocking, right? We're handling the asynchronicity here. So do we need this async here? And ignoring for the moment that it's keeping the reference, let's just ignore this. So this is a blocking run. Nothing asynchronous in here, right? Nothing asynchronous in here. It's just a blocking call, not an async call. Correctamente. Time to stand. Thanks, watch. I'm standing. So what if we say instead of running, let's just say inside we create an E and run that. And then it's going to say, hey, stupid, you need to be mutable. Thank you. So it's not this. Right? It's not the element that's not sent, it's the box that's not sent. Yeah, and now it's stuck because... Why is it stuck? Rust, Tokyo, spawn, box, dune, trade. I'm doing something wrong here. This is just the await, but I want the spawn, right? What am I doing wrong here? Async function as a future. I'm not getting it currently. I mean, one of the reasons I'm doing this project is to get the async working, to get it in my brain. I need a simpler example. Sorry if I'm reading too fast. I just want the minimal, the absolute minimal boilerplate. I think this article is too old. Can I just spawn async on? What happens if I just do Toki spawn async and just say a.run? Okay, as I said, this is too old. I don't care about Go. Now this is creating the future and this is running it. Why async FN in trades are hard. We have an async function. We can await futures, I know all that. Yeah, this is pretty much what I want. We put the async trade on it. Okay, so it's sent and static lifetime. Mm-hmm. True. We're making it hard for ourselves on the first. Yeah, he's explaining exactly the problem we have, but he's not explaining the solution. I'm stuck. I'm about to give up for today. I mean, basically, we're very close. Basically, we are very close. Obviously, this loop here is wrong. This is just an example. I mean, our main problem is that this is blocking while it shouldn't be. I mean, so so this is not async. So let's remove the. I can just break here. Can we? Probably. So this will work. I mean, we disabled everything, but it still works. So our problem is that we want this non-blocking. How do we yield? Rust run async method non-blocking with Tokyo. I never used this before, so give me 6 months and I know what I'm doing. Yeah, thanks for switching the browser and okay. Again. Okay, our run is not async. It should be async, but it isn't. Okay, spawning. Why? So this is our run function here. Concurrency. So we loop, and when we spawn a task that awaits. Okay, so we spawn a task and we have to await that, otherwise it will not run. But that means it needs to be async, right? And that unfortunately means since our test case is too big, yeah, that means all of our elements need to be async, at least the run function needs to be async. So if I run this now, it never returns from the run. So if I don't await here, it just means create the future and do nothing with it, right? Create the future and do nothing with it. And this means create the future and run it. And actually, print line running, right? This means create the future and run it, but it means run it till the end. Oh, Rust thread sleep. Can we just do standard thread sleep? I'm not sure this is how it's supposed to be, but I want to. Is this milliseconds or duration is in specified amount of time? And time is standard as well. So, and let's just sleep a while here. So, oh, so it's doing the running. So this part actually, why? So if I go here, mega confusion. So let's at least render the blocks so we see something. So this is running and our load text is doing stuff in the background. That is basically what we want. So I cannot stop this because we're not joining all the stuff, but basically, and let's make this even. Let's just make this every 5 seconds, so it really is super low. Annoyance factor. So this is, whoa. Why is it batching them together? Oh, it's, we're not doing one of them, right? This here is plenty of them. It's nice that we have a clock here that helps us too. So we saw a run at 59, so one at 2, one at 7-ish. Yeah, so that is working, and obviously the join is missing, so we're basically not closing all our futures. But here, back to the old problem. So this is behaving as expected, but we want to run this here, right? And now this is telling us why is the box not sent? Do we need to unbox it? Let E equal wait, Rust unbox. Dereference the value. This shouldn't be a box. Why is this a boxed in element? I want the din element, not the box here for this. Why is this not unboxing? Can I just... This is just wild experimentation here. Unknown. Mutable reference. I have no idea. Probably that's a better idea, yeah. I mean, that doesn't fix the problem, but we could do Tokyo time delay. Is it just delay or is it delay for Windows keyboard? So this is a good call. I mean, this doesn't change the other problem. Yeah, this arrow. Oh, different arrow. Do an element static cannot be sent. Yes, I know. I am not sure. I know where my brain is currently clicking, but so scenario. This is working, right? This is exactly what we want. And then for each element, so for each of these, we want to run a new thread that allows to update the element. I think we need to split the element actually. You you want to split the element. So let's say I have load text elements, and that's a vec new, right? And then we say let LTE1, well, 0 equals load text element factory create, right? And we say LTE.push, and yes, that means I need to make this mutable. And then we say for LT, for element in LTE, we want to say spawn async e.run.await, and this is gonna fail because this is not mutable, right? Oh, this is not mutable. So wait, what? Fair enough. Fair enough, bad example. So basically what we want to do, I have no idea why this is so big. Maybe I should do a basic. I mean, this will have the same problem, right? Yeah. How do I say, okay, awaiting on join handle returns as a result. How do I, task spawn must be static, okay. The expression must not borrow any data. Fair, I mean, oh. Okay. What? Wait a second. It's slowly starting to click into place. I think what we will do next time is create a smaller example. But for now, let's ignore the. So if I run this now, if I run this now, it still will work. But what we actually want to do is to do move this to async run. And there we have to split the channel basically. I mean, this is doing roughly what I wanted it to do. So here's the thing. Let's call this. Let's use this as a banner title. Atem Rust, and then put this here, and here. And if I run this now, this is the correct text, and every frame, I hope you can see this down here. So on the next show, we'll just do this, right? No need to restart the binary. That's what we want to do. And since we don't have multi-line stuff yet, we will need multi-line text at some point, but for now, banner line 0 loader. I'm a coder, so it's banner line 0, and this is banner line 0, and then we have a banner line 1. And this is polling every frame, and that's what I want to get rid of. And ignoring multi-line for now. Touch banner line 0.txt and 1. And then here, okay, banner line 0, we just want auto reloading in there. So this is this, and then banner line 1 is actually bonus command line handling, which is not going to happen today because we got stuck in async stuff. So, and then here I can say, okay, please use, and this needs some cleanup because I want technically multi-line loading. So here I can say now dollar banner line 0. Let's just copy this down here. Banner line 1. So if I start this now, I have this here, and halfway through the show I realize, sorry, oh, sorry, I can type. Sorry, no time. I can just save it and it will update live here. So I do the ARM version. I stop this here, which will stop the timer. Come on. 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 And then I copy the ARM version. I copy the config. And I copy the banners. And I start this on the mission. Oh, banner title text. Yes, because we have to copy banner title text over. So live editing, and I think we can get rid of this here. This is not live reloading, so wait. Yeah, disabled. Disabled. Let's try this again. So this means I can, without touching the Raspberry, I can just copy over this stuff and my overlay changes. My brain is currently struggling how to use this asynchronous communication. So I think what we will actually do, so here, we just do the run. We don't do this. The question is, do we await here? Yes, it's async, but we just do this, right? Right. We just do this. So this means don't do this asynchronously, just do this synchronously, and this means, oh, sorry, this will just run forever, and obviously you're not awaiting this. So technically what we want to do is make this work here. So it's transparent to the outside world. We don't know what's going on there. We just say run and make sure you run, right? Oh. And we just await this. Wait. So this runs, we see the updates. Let's wait for 5 seconds. I'm not sure why it's... Oh, we have 3 load text elements, so... Oh, just moving it inside work, because the outside doesn't know it's not sent anymore. Oh, this is nice. This is actually nice. So I can escape, everything's working as expected, and this just loops forever asynchronously. Let's just say self dot variable, and this will probably not work anymore because we're capturing this thing. So I mean, what we can do is you can say variable equals self dot variable dot clone, and then here we can use the variable name, right? Oh, can we? Okay, cause but here we can say, wait, we just saw that example. We can just can we just say rc new on the variable, and yeah, this is, come on. I mean, it's standard rc, right? Yeah, just let's da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, come on. How do I pass in? How do I safely pass in the... I mean, I I understand why. So now the scope of this is, I mean, we can we just use arc? Is it arc? Rust arc? It's sync arc, it's not. You don't have to clone. Wait a second, how do I pass in? How do I pass in data into... Slowly. Yes, but how do I get data into... Wait. Let variable equals test. Oops. Oh. And now we can say self.variable.clone, which moves this variable in here. And that means if you... slowly. Might not be the brightest, but I'm the most stubborn. Wait 5 seconds, and it's running the load for each of them every 3 seconds. And it's handling the escape and quitting, so now we can go all the way back to where we started today, and that was notify. So what I really want to do is, okay, did we already do that? We already did do that. And we say we want to create a channel. Okay. We want to create a channel. Okay, it doesn't know what type of channel. Then we want to create a... Okay, let's create whatever watcher type the platform wants. Oh, come on, really? Can I have some more modern version of this? Don't ask why my cursor is so slow. Dot expect. And this does not need to be mutable. To do. So we have a watcher now. And recursive mode, we don't want recursive. We want to watch exactly, we want to watch self.filename, right? And again, to do error handling next time. Probably want to borrow this here. So now we have a watcher that watches the file name that we set. And actually, let's disable this code for the moment. We're doing nothing. We just want to so we have a watcher that watches this file name. We still need to rx. And that's why we wanted the whole async. So basically inside the loop, we copy this. And I'm a big fan of copying outside of the documentation. So technically, I'm not sure what broke the formatting here. Technically, I don't need this sleep anymore, but we want it anyway. So in the end, we win. So nothing is happening. It has a receive error, basically nothing there, I guess. So if we change the watch error, receive error, it's a bit noisy here. It's a bit noisy here. Why do we have a receive error? Maybe it's time to look into the we have a watch error, receive error. Why do we have a watch error, receive error? So we move this part of the channel inside and we get a watch error. Oh, let's look into the watcher. Watch recursive mode, and recursive mode for a file is probably not what we want. Maybe it already failed there. And then we know this is triggering, so let's reduce the noise. Let's reduce the noise. All our text is gone because we just broke it. Let's wait 5 seconds. So we have a receive error. Why do we have a receive error? Let's just for the moment, let's just copy this full loop here without the async. Just to be sure it's not our async that's in the, this will be blocking now, so just to shut the compiler up. So this will be blocking, and I expect lots of... If we still get a receive error, then something went wrong earlier, probably. Okay, nothing is happening. What happens if we... Basically... Why? Maybe I should have put this in the beginning of the loop. So it's blocking, the receive is blocking. And it's never called. Let's hope it implements debug or display. Oh, come on. That would... So Can I debug TX and RX, please? Is it the watcher that's broken our code? So, okay. We have a watcher, and we say watch file name, debug self.file name, just file name, thank you, and it's not slav itself. So why? So it's watching banner title. So question number 1, does watcher watch need a fully qualified pass? Okay, let's try something here. Let's watch this recursive. Watcher.watch. Something is wrong with my system. It's feeling very... So we're just watching the current directory, right? It's blocking. Let's... iNotify is just not working. Let's try something. So this is a repository. I'm pretty sure there's an example in there. Yes, there is. So copy. Just to avoid ghost hunts here. Cargo run example monitor raw. And while this is compiling, let's look into the example. Okay, argument 1 needs to be a pass. Watching dot cd data work. I pressed A, not G, but touch ABC. Okay, so we're getting changed events. Wait. So it's telling us, okay, so it's working. It's working with the dot. But this here, which is our test code, it's not working. Why is this not working? What's the... It creates a channel. This doesn't look like the new, wait, new TX. This looks different. These looks different. I didn't copy enough, right? My bad. And this doesn't work because, yep, let's not new. What the? I mean, it's also doing this for. For res in Rx. Debug. Okay, something's fishy here. Okay, true. I mean, this is just syntactic sugars. Show. It should be a shame. I need to stop this right here, right now. The watcher is just not working in our context, while it is working in this context. So all it's doing is doing the watch pass. What I'm not getting is the new immediate. Do we have a I don't get it. Oh, that's the monitor raw. Why the hell? I mean, this is what am I missing? Okay, too much noisy. We want to watch this directory recursively. We do the loop here. No async whatsoever. Ooh. Oh. The watching is just not working at all. I think we call this a day. I'm done. So close. So close. Which makes me sad. Okay, let's let's try to create IO. Let's add some error handling. Maybe we're missing an error somewhere. So I'm a big fan of anyhow because you can just say hey result and be done with it. So yeah, let's use anyhow, and then the element will use anyhow result. Actually, I'm a fan of explicit in this case, so the element run will return an anyhow result of nothing, and then we have to add that to all our elements. But this should be easy because this one is empty. The image element is default implementations would be so extra bonus nice. Would be so extra bonus nice. Yeah, I need to install my clipboard manager so I don't have to do it like this. This is highly inefficient. So, okay, and here we do an okay. Unreachable code, yeah, fair. But that means here, instead of expect, we can just unwrap it, and we can unwrap this. But that means here, unused results. So I want to unwrap here. Which, oh, we returning error here. So maybe in the main where we do the load, oh, we already passed that. So if we throw an arrow somewhere on the road, if we throw an arrow, no path was found. No path was found. That explains why it cannot watch the path if it's not finding the path, right? somebody has to fix this compiler. It's so slow. No pass was found. I have the feeling that it's no pass was found. Error kind pass not found. So this is thrown when the pass does not exist. Or we don't have a pass. But the thing is, which one is throwing that? So oh, well, it could have told us, right? I mean, now I have 3 watching the same pass, which is a bit... Look, we get a notice remove. We still don't get the, hey, this file was changed. Notice write. Okay, okay. Okay. So instead of watching this recursively now, what do we learn? Never silently swallow your arrows. So let's try this again. Let's write the banner title. And we get a notice write and a write. What's the difference between a notice write and a write? New watch, unwatch. I just want... Oh, then we just search here. So notice write. Wait, what? Well, in the end for today, this is the synchronous version, but that's not really what we want. We want the async version. So we have the window. We get a receive error. What happens if I think our channel goes out of scope. I think we're destroying our channel. So our standard sync MSP blob goes out of scope. Creates a new async channel returning the sender and receiver. All data sent to the sender the same order. Unlike sync channel, receive will block. Can I get a status of a channel? Receiver. Try receive, receive. Attempts to wait, returning an error if the channel has hung up. So I believe the channel at this point has hung up because it went out of scope. So let us create the channel outside of the loop, but create the watcher inside of the so what if we say we have a watcher? Well, we have an option of a watcher, right? And the watcher in the default case is none. And if this worked up until here, we say self.watcher equals some watcher. We move it into our scope so it doesn't go out of scope. Really? Really? So we cannot derive debug. Which means we have to implement format debug for load text element. And I wish we could say, hey, can I just implement this, please? Oh, obviously it's standard format. And this is now incomplete. We are not FN format. Oh, yeah. I need better autocompletion. Wait. Let's just steal. Oh, actually, yeah. We just did that last week, so progress. Clumsy progress, but basically load it. Let's look, we get the notification. So basically we lost our watcher because we dropped it out of scope, which kind of killed the channel, but okay. So now the question is, what do we do with this? Actually, we want to clone the file name here. We need the file name. Yes, it could come, but basically we say, okay, if we get a file change event, and this is just the case of return error, right? If something goes wrong, we just bail out. Can I? I don't care. So don't bail out. To do. Just trying to get to a nice cutting point now, just wrapping it up really fast. So this means our file has changed. So if our file has changed, we try to read it, right? If our file has changed, we read it, but we cannot do this here. We should not be able to do this. I mean, even this is doubtful. Yeah. We cannot do this. I mean, this is the one that we copied, cloned, and then moved here. So that's fine. Let's ignore this. So whenever the file changes, we just reload it. And then let's say print line. Boop, boop, And actually, so whenever the file changes, whenever this file changes, so in this case, the banner title, we output the banner title, right? So all we need to do now is it takes 2 seconds because we set the, actually we're sleeping here, which is totally extra, and we have the 2 seconds here. So I mean, the receive is blocking on the channel, so nothing is happening here. And then here we say, okay, it's almost instant. So that's nice. So the thing is, in the update, so what we could do here is we have a channel, and that is some channel, right? So, and that channel is, we don't have a channel. But in the update, if let some channel equals self.channel, if we have a channel, and then on a channel we can say try receive. Right? And then we say match channel the channel dot try receive. If we get some message, whatever that message will be, we do something, otherwise we're fine, right? Do nothing. So if we receive any message, and now it gets interested, in the case of any message, and up here we don't even bother loading the file, so in the case of any message, we just set our value to the content of that file, right? So this is self.file name. So this we could do, actually we could combine that. So just to be, let's ignore that because if we have a file name and only then we do all of this, and we return okay in any case, and the formatting there is totally foobarred, but if we have a file name, we do this. And then if we get the event, instead of doing this, we say, okay, let's, self.channel equals some other channel. This is not the notification channel, right? How do you split a channel? How do you split the channel? Oh, this always returns a pair. Oh, technically, we do, forget the naming, but we say self.channel returns a receiver. So basically what we say, this is not a channel, this is a receiver, right? Where is this? So this is standard sync receiver. Oh, this is in channel, so we just say use receiver. This fixes. Oh, tell me. Wait, what? Oh, wait, did it actually, did the, Okay, a receiver needs a type, so let's say enum message file changed, right? So this is a receiver of type message. It should make this shut up. Obviously, self the channel sum rx2, right? And then here we use the tx2 dot send message file changed. All right, so this here is the pipe, is the channel between the notifier and this method, and this here is the channel between this method and the update loop. So yeah, we don't even care which message. Oh, yeah. It's can I just go to sleep now? Okay, we unwrap this. We don't care, and the event itself we don't care. So this send failed. We just go both eyes closed. Let's see if this compiles. And nothing happens. Well, apart from the slow startup. So if I change the title now, if I change the title, we get the change notification and it updates the string. So wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if it loaded this at the start? So we could add a second pass here that says, okay, update does this, and then we basically do exactly the same once at startup. But what we could also do is we could just say once at startup, we can just send this message once, right? We basically say, hey, put a message in this queue and say force update on start, right? So if I start this now, it's all there. It's all there. We're not polling the file. We're telling the files, the system, in this case, the notify crate, hey, if this file changes, no, let's actually, if this file changes, then update it. And that's working. And without polling, we're not polling every frame. We just say, if the file changes, file system, operating system, tell us that the file changed. And then we tell ourselves to update the text on the next update. And it might not look like much, but now we can also, now that we have the run that runs asynchronously, we could say, oh, download this web page, and whenever the web page loading has finished, filter out some data and then set the dynamic text. So we opened up a whole slew of cases here. So what I want to do now is let's build the ARM version. I don't even have an idea. And we also... So we copy this. Oh, we can't copy this over because it's running. Well, let's stop it. Let's try again. Let's run it. So obviously nothing happened here, but if I change the banner line 1 here now, let's actually say we tick this off. Let's say we tick this off. Well, nothing happens, but if I copy this to the Raspberry, it's not polling and we're not doing anything. We're just copying the text file and it's updating instantaneously. Well, at most twice every 2 seconds. So I would say we check this. We copy this over and bam! I love when a plan works. This is super messy code, but I'm at the 3-hour mark. I wanted to do 2 hours, so git add banner. This should probably be in data, but yeah, to date banner star to data, and then in the config, yeah, this is gone, don't save, this is gone, don't save. It's just the editor being helpful, and here we can just say data, and data, and it should in theory just run the same. Let's just test this real quickly. So if I go to banner line 1 and say not today, it just works the same. So if I scp the example config and scp-r data, and this is too much, but so the not today is there. Not today, but maybe tomorrow. And now I can again just scp that over and it instantly changes. So needs massive cleanup. So git add data banner star, git commit -am added dynamic loading and updating of variables from text files. Clean up formatting stuff, but I like what I did here today, and that Tokyo thing was interesting because I was running against the wall because I tried to make it asynchronous from the out. I tried to spawn it from the outside when I didn't need to. I mean, technically the run could just be a one-off run and never do anything, so why bother spawning from the outside? And if I spawn in the inside, I can do all this logic of moving the right elements, so something clicked there. But 1.5 hours ago, I was like, what the hell am I doing? But it... So let's push this. And let's actually see if my good friend none of my Rust friends are online, so I think I'm gonna say. Now I'm overlaid over the. But hey, no more OBS overlays. I love it. I'm gonna let this run and. No, let's not play with this. This is. Actually, come on. Come on, I'm gonna regret doing this, but basically, landscape, pygmy. This is better, right? This is so much better. Thanks for this session. I'm off. Code is in GitHub. Have fun. I see you on Thursday.